American presence in space, we must have American dominance in space. Very importantly, I'm hereby directing the Department of Defense and Pentagon to immediately begin the process necessary to establish a Space Force as the sixth branch of the armed forces. That's a big statement. We are going to have the Air Force and we are going to have the Space Force, separate but equal.
We face a hostile ideology, global in scope, atheistic in character, ruthless in purpose, and insidious in method. Unhappily, the danger it poses promises to be of indefinite duration. We annually spend on military security alone more than the net income of all United States corporations.
A shadowy government with its own Air Force, its own Navy, its own fundraising mechanism, and the ability to pursue its own ideas of the national interest, free from all checks and balances, and free from the law itself.
In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
The UFO cover-up that's been going on for many decades. And this is about all the people that gave their life for the UFO cover-up. And for you to hear what they had to say before they gave their life.
And then do you believe there's an active disinformation campaign within our government to deny existence of UAPs, yes or no?
I don't have an answer to that.
As previously stated publicly, yes.
I think previously with like Project Blue Book, yes, but currently I don't speak for the United States government.
Paul Bennewitz was a victim of a disinformation campaign done by the U.S. government to steer him in the wrong direction when he was obviously getting too close to something that they did not want him to see.
Special Agent Richard Doty claims that he was assigned to the position of a disinfo agent. He says that he was ordered to encourage Bennewitz to continue to believe that his alien hypothesis was correct, in order to conceal the sensitive information leak that Bennewitz allegedly stumbled onto.
Well, I worked in counterintelligence. I was a counterintelligence officer, and my job was to conduct counterintelligence operations. Most of those counterintelligence operations dealt with the protection of highly classified projects that the Air Force or other government agencies were working on. For instance, the Paul Bennewitz case, he strayed upon a highly classified drone project that was occurring at Kirtland Air Force Base. Headquarters advised me to protect those projects at all means. And one of the things that I was supposed to do is convince him that what he was seeing was UFOs and not the classified drones. Well, you got to understand that Paul Bennewitz was already a believer in UFOs. He was already an investigator from MUFON. So when I went to him and I said simply, Paul, don't you think that what you photographed was UFOs, extraterrestrial? He said, I know they are. Mm-hmm. That's all it took.
James Forestal died May 22nd, 1949. According to official reports, he committed suicide from his 16th floor window from his psychiatric hospital that he was admitted to after starting to talk about UFOs and things of this nature. What you may not know is he was allegedly a part of a group called Majestic 12.
Well, an amazing guy. First of all, he was the first Secretary of the Navy, but he was also one of the original founding members of Majestic 12, which Majestic 12 was a group that was created pretty much by the military to oversee all of the alien-related information, basically as a control mechanism to make sure that everything that came out or got out was filtered through them.
And that was during Truman's administration, right?
Absolutely. Stated that he was having emotional issues. Well, what was bugging him, according to people that knew him, including his son, was he wanted to tell the American people what was going on. So out of the 16th floor of Bethesda Naval Hospital, he supposedly commits suicide.
Okay, I can't ask when you think this occurred. If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries, yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently
Then there would be asteroids, and then he would repeat to me over and over, and the last card, the last card, the last card would be the extraterrestrial threat. Well, at the time, I kind of laughed when he said asteroids, and when he said extraterrestrials, I knew I wasn't going to deal with that subject.
When it comes to defending America, it is not enough to merely have an American presence in space. We must have American dominance in space. Very importantly, I'm hereby directing the Department of Defense and Pentagon to immediately begin the process necessary to establish a Space Force as the sixth branch of the armed forces. That's a big statement. We are going to have the Air Force and we are going to have the